Hey guys, it's Angela, Create Your Future. Thank you for being here. So in our video today, I am answering a really great question that was sent in, and it's all about what is it really that's manifesting? Is it our I am state, our I amness, or is it the techniques? Like, what is the most important? So I am going to address this, and I intend to bring some clarification for you. So let me just look back at this question and share that with you. Is truly knowing who you are as the I am and silencing the voices that run in the background enough to manifest, like with no techniques? So that is the question, right? And I'm going to answer from my perspective and what I feel to be the most important and what I really share and talk about a lot in all of my videos. So the thing that I feel is the most important when you are manifesting, when you're on this journey, is who is it that you are identifying with? You need to be identifying as the I am. Always. It doesn't matter if you say, I identify as the I am, I identify as the creator of my experience, I identify as the upper power, I identify as one with the universe. But you need to know at the core level that it's you, all you, and nobody else but you. This is the most important thing because everything else is going to come through this filter, through your identity. When you know who you are, when you know that it's all coming from within you on some level, that moves you out of victim state and into an empowered state immediately. So it's the most important part of manifesting, in my opinion, because it's the foundation. I've talked about this in videos before, but if you build this big, beautiful house and the exterior is amazing and beautiful, and all of your work on it is so lovely, but you have just this rubble of a foundation, this big, beautiful house, no matter how beautiful it is not going to stand because the foundation is not in place. It doesn't have a good foundation. And when the foundation crumbles, the house will fall. So no matter what you're manifesting, your manifestations are not going to be sustainable. They're not going to move you into bigger and better experiences around that desire. It's not going to continue to blossom and bloom if you don't have the solid foundation of who you are, right? That is what makes it sustainable. That is what allows you to step into that reality and have the full experience of the very best outcome that you want when you know who you are, right? You put the time and attention on you and establish this amazing foundation. And what that looks like is filling your mind, your thoughts every single day with those affirmations, those encouraging statements that, I am the I am. I am more than a conqueror. I can have, do, be anything. This is coming from within me. Whatever statements work for you, whatever affirmations work for you, but filling your mind with that understanding, as well as, looking into, you could look into some quantum mechanics. You don't have to just dive in and study everything there is, but just kind of begin to look into the processing of what happens as we're manifesting, that your thoughts are energy, that energy is power. It is your internal power. Kind of begin to look at some of the mechanics of what's happening, because that builds the faith. You're beginning to create kind of some common sense understanding of why it is working. And so have more faith in knowing the process is working, knowing that it's working through you, knowing that you're directing it, than anything else. That makes you the priority also. That makes you the most important part. That brings it all back to self, which is what it's all about, self. And remember, those things that are showing up, those things that get our attention, the thing that looks scary or bad or whatever that we don't like, it has come into your experience really as the catalyst to push you within to begin with, right? the whole experience is for you to wake up, to reconnect to who you really are, to your divine self, your highest self, your God self, the Christ consciousness. That is why we're here in this reality, to become more expansive and to learn and to grow. And so these things come into our awareness to push us within, to push us to do the work. So you're never, ever, ever wasting time, wasting your thought energy when you focus on you and understanding the process and learning about the process, learning about law of assumption and, like I said, quantum mechanics, just filling your mind with the processes of what's happening, reminding yourself that you are the operant power. So what happens when you begin to do that and you begin to be expansive and you begin to grow in that place and you begin to elevate your consciousness? Things can come in instantly. You can just have a fleeting thought, oh man, I would love to go out for dinner tonight. I really don't want to cook. And then somebody invites you out to dinner and pays for it. Or that cup of coffee, man, I would really like a cup of coffee right now, but I'm not able to get away from my desk, and somebody brings you a cup of coffee. Things will roll in easily, things that you don't have resistance to. They can come in so simply because you're in such an elevated state in your thoughts. You're aware that they're very powerful, and you think something and they just show up, and you will begin to roll in that kind of existence, that kind of reality where the synchronicities, serendipities, all of those things just flow in very easily when you are in that elevated state of consciousness and you've prioritized cultivating that state of consciousness. But if you are working on something, you have a desire for something, say it's like your partner, your specific person, and you've got a history of an old story, a negative story that has been there for some time, then you definitely need to create a new story around it. This is when you want to employ some sort of technique. It doesn't matter what you use. You can visualize, you can script your new story, you can write affirmations around your new story, but you do still need to create a new story around the new outcome. So even though you're at an elevated state of consciousness, and many things that you don't have resistance to can just come in instantly, just with a thought, with very little focus and attention, because you're not resisting them. The old story is simply going to be a pattern that your brain is used to replaying. And if you don't change it, if you don't switch out the program, if you don't change that story, your mind, just because your mind operates in a pattern, it operates in a way that it's used to, like a habit that it's used to, your mind will replay the old story, the unfavorable story. It's going to run on autopilot on what it knows. So you have to be diligent then and create awareness around a new story. You must do that, and you must put your attention on it again and again and again until it becomes dominant and you easily begin to just go right to that story. When you think about your desire, sorry, move my desk. Whenever you think about it, it will just be like second nature to begin to assume and think about your preferred outcome because you've instilled it within your belief system through repetition or whatever technique that you used. So knowing that you're the I am, working on that, prioritizing that, making that the most important thing to put your attention and focus on is very valuable. And when you do that, many things are going to come into your reality very easily, just with a thought, just with setting the intention. I intend today that XYZ happens. And when there's not a lot of a backstory, not a lot of resistance, it's going to come in very easily, very effortlessly. And you can just go back again to that thought. Of course, this is going to happen because I know that I'm the creator of my experience. I know I'm the one calling the shots. And you have that intrinsic belief already established. It's your identity. You don't have the victim mentality, but you have the mindset of, I am the creator of this experience, and I know that it's flowing through me, and I know that I'm calling the shots. Many, many things will come in so easily and effortlessly for you. However, you do have to change that story when there's a pattern there that has been there for quite some time, especially when you really find yourself going back to it again and again, that old story, looping on it. You have to put the effort in to create the new story, to put awareness on the new story, and to focus on the new story, okay? Because you're simply changing a pattern. It doesn't mean that this thing is difficult, that it's going to be harder to manifest, but there's just a pattern there, and you have to be committed to changing the pattern. You have to change the story. You have to tell your subconscious programming that there's a new story now. There's going to be a different experience, and you're building it. You're like exercising the muscle, building the muscle around the new story, just like you would go to the gym and through repetition build up a muscle through lifting a weight, right? So over and over and over, you apply energy to the new story. So I hope that clarifies. You will see many things come in so easily when you really step into your I am state and you know that you're not challenged. But every story that has an old history is going to automatically want to go back to that history. And that's when you have to put the energy into the new story, whatever it might be. Okay? But I want to encourage you that you are never going to go wrong when you spend time in reminding yourself who you are, thinking about the process, thinking about how manifestation happens, thinking about your thoughts being energy, that your thoughts are not empty vapors, but your thoughts are your power, right? Your thoughts, think of it from this perspective. You don't want to waste a thought, because every thought is going to some outcome, either something that's working for you or something that is not working for you. Don't waste your thoughts, and remind yourself as you are thinking and contemplating, is this serving me? Is this what I want? Because I'm creating it all with my thoughts, with where I put my attention and awareness. And I consciously choose to direct my thinking to my power, to the I am within me, to being unlimited and seeing the very best outcome in whatever situation you're dealing with. So I intend that this is really helpful for you guys. If you want to work with me one-on-one, sign up with coaching, follow those links down below. I'd love to help you manifest. And I have my course out, Awaken to I Am. It's all about developing that foundational piece, knowing that you are the I am, walking in an elevated state, moving from glory to glory to glory. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you next Saturday. Bye.